Do you struggle with making positive changes stick? Well, you're in luck because today we are going to talk about 10 tips to break in a new habit here on Get Organized with Jodi. Hi, I'm Jodi Granock. I'm a certified professional organizer with over 15 years in the field. I work with lots of clients on lots of different organizing things, and some of those things are not tangible, like a closet or a kitchen. Sometimes it has to do with creating new systems. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to break in a new habit. And we're going to break this into two different videos. So part one is this video. We'll cover the first 5 tips, and then our second video, we'll do the second 5. So here's what makes breaking in a new habit a challenge for some people. Generally, it takes about 3 weeks to break in a new habit, but it takes 6 months before that habit is ingrained. What does that mean? Well, it means when something prevents you from doing the new task once, you won't backslide and you can resume the habit the next day. So you may be starting a new workout routine and you've been doing it for a few weeks and you feel like you're doing a pretty good job. But then you might have a day where you just don't feel good. And so you skip a day. But then it's 2 days and then it's 3 days. And you've kind of fallen off the wagon of doing that exercise routine. That's what we're talking about when we say you can have a new habit within a few weeks, but it takes about 6 months where it's not going to phase you if you fall off the wagon for a day or two, or you go out of town, or whatever it is. So, how do we get to the point where we can consistently do that habit? We took all these tips from a wonderful book that was written way back in 2002, but is still relevant today. So these tips on breaking in a new habit come from the authors Judith Kohlberg and Kathleen Nadeau, and they wrote this book called ADD Friendly Ways to Organize Your Life. Now, if you don't have ADD, don't worry about it. This book is for everyone, but it's especially helpful if you do have ADD or ADHD. All right, so the first tip to break in a new habit is tie an old habit to a new one. So let's say you just got a new pet, and your new habit involves making sure you remember to feed your pet. So store the pet food next to your cereal. That way, every morning when you go into the kitchen to make your breakfast, you also have a visual reminder, hey, I need to prepare food for my new pet. So that's tying an old habit to a new one. Tip number 2 is to make each habit as easy as possible. So let's say your new habit is you always forget to carry your umbrella. So put your umbrella by the door that you leave from each day. And in this photo, we took it a step further, and not only is the umbrella by the front door, but it's right next to your car keys, which you need to go out of the house. So you're making it as easy as possible to remember to bring that umbrella. Tip number 3 is to make the new habit hard to ignore. So let's say your new habit is remembering to bring your cell phone. Lay your keys on top of your phone. It's kind of hard to ignore. I need my keys. Oh, there's my cell phone. I had a colleague once years ago who frequently would forget to bring her lunch bag home from the office. And so not only would she keep her lunch bag in the refrigerator, but she would put her car keys in the refrigerator. And so she couldn't go home without her car keys. And so when she would open the refrigerator, she would see her car keys and her lunch bag. Sounds a little weird, but it worked for her. Tip number 4 is to put reminders everywhere. So you can use colorful paper, you can use sticky notes, you can use colorful sticky notes. Now, if you don't want to have these notes everywhere, don't worry, it's temporary. It's just to help you break in the new habit. And it can be kind of fun. You can use different handwriting, you can use different colors. Tip number 5 is to visualize yourself doing the new behavior. Seeing something in your mind can help make it a reality. I have a story. It's not about a habit, but it is about visualization. I have found visualization to be very powerful in my life. I will give you one example. My husband and I, before we moved into our condo, we were coming to look at the condo. And I already had a really good feeling that this was going to be the one. So much so that I programmed the address into my phone, into my contacts for myself as my home address. And so when we got in the car to come look at the condo, I told my phone to give me directions home. My husband thought that was a little crazy, but guess what? It's where we live. So visualize yourself doing the new behavior. It can help. Those are the first 5 tips in our 2-part video series. We will do tips 6 through 10 in the next video on this topic. So go ahead and start practicing the first 5 for now. And I encourage you to visit organizingmagic.com for more organizing resources, including our free e-newsletter, which you can sign up for, and information on our monthly Zoom webinars, which are also free. And remember that new videos drop every Friday, so be in the know and click like and subscribe before you go, so you never miss a single video. I'll see you next time.